This episode of the R&R Show is brought to you by Chip Theory Games, publishers of the upcoming 20 Strong series Nemesis, Tainted Grail, and Aetherfields. And hello, friends. Welcome back. This is episode 112 of the R&R Show. Good to see everyone here. I'm Ruel, and as always, joined by Ray and Chris. Hello, friends.
Ruel, can you go back to that screen just for 1 second? I want to see who is who.
Okay.
I think I'm Tainted Grail. I think you're Aetherfields, and I think Ray. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the theme
Good
of the
call.
stream.
Good call.
Is Ray is Nemesis. I'm Tainted Grail. You're Aetherfields, which makes sense. Yeah, Ray loves attacking people in games.
Yep.
Ruel has such a dreamlike quality about him.
Aw.
And I'm just tainted. I'm just tainted.
Oh, none of us are untainted, I believe.
That tracks.
Yeah. Folks, it's so good to see everyone here. We've got a great show coming up. We are going to be talking about the best games of 2025. So stick around for that. We're going to hang out a little bit, catch up, and welcome y'all into the show as everyone comes in. We are recording this live on Twitch for all y'all watching the VODs. And before we get going, let's take a quick look at what's new from our sponsor, Chip Theory Games. All right, friends, here are the 20 strong games. We've got Nemesis, Aetherfields, and Tainted Grail. These are prototypes, early production copies, so we don't actually have the boxes yet. This box is the original 20 strong that I have in my collection, and these are the dice that come in the game, and then we also have the life tracker. You'll notice here that there's something new. You flip it around, it's magnetic, and we've got colors. What's that mean? Only one way to find out. Back the campaign when it goes live on Game Found. So I'm going to take a quick look here. I don't want to spoil too much, but you have your rules here. What you do if you're new to 20 strong, you have a standard set of dice and your life counter. You're going to set that up, and then you are going to pull the different modules that you want to play. So in this case, if I want to play Nemesis, I would open up this box, and as you can see here, you've got your different things that you can place down here, from the armory, engine room, generator, nest, turret, etc., etc. There's some player reminders here, player aids, and then we get to the weapons, right? And Nemesis, it's got that aliens feel, which I'm excited about to try out because I love the movie Aliens. And here you're gonna pump up your heroes and hopefully get through the baddies. And I'm just gonna show a few of these here. So you see the artwork and the components are top notch as always, as you can expect from Chip Theory Games. So that's Nemesis, and then we have Aetherfields, which I've not played the original Aetherfields. So what they've done here, Chip Theory, they partnered with Awaken Realms to bring in some of their games, the world game worlds that they have, such as Nemesis, Aetherfields, and Tainted Grail. And you can see here some of the cards is coming in here, your characters, and then your combat cards, and so forth. And each one's going to have different mechanisms, but the basic gameplay is the same, where you're chucking dice and trying to mitigate bad rolls, but leveling up your characters as well, and getting those guys and your characters ready to defeat the monsters. Tainted Grail, now this one actually came sleeved, so we have your enemies here. If you're familiar with the Tainted Grail world, you'll have your combat cards as well. Just a quick look here at some of the enemies, Mad Warrior, etc., etc. And these are sleeves, so it's a little... Okay, yeah, you can still see those. Then combat cards here. And characters as well, and the different locations and whatnot. So just a quick look at the early production copies of 20 Strong, and I'll turn it back to you all.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I mean, 20 Strong, so 20 Strong has, it came out with that initial set of Solar Sentinels, and then Hoplomachus, and then Too Many Bones.
Yes.
I played through all three of those, which I enjoyed. I think I like Hoplomachus the best out of them, because it had like a cool pyramid aspect. And then they came out with their cool Tanglewoods section of 20 Strong, like red, white, and gold, of all those different Tanglewood element, which I think you can get like another base set with the 20 Strong red if you wanted to just dive into that Manny Tremblay art. But the fact that they're partnering with Awaken Realms and distilling that into a fun little dice game, I mean, come on. Just seeing the Aetherfields box got me hyped about it, because I just think it's I think it's a really cool collaboration. I love seeing two sort of behemoth publishers collaborate in this way too. Like Chip Theory is awesome. Like they produce such good quality stuff, and it's going to be really interesting to see what they do, what they take with these IPs that they've decided to adapt into this solo system. Because I know sometimes I don't want to pull out all of my 5 boxes of ether fields. Maybe I just want to roll some dice and have that as a solo experience.
So. That's one thing I do love about 20 Strong. It does capture the feeling of the bigger games, but in a much smaller package, much more manageable package. And why don't we take a look at the GameFound page? It's there right now, folks. You can check that out and sign up to be notified when the campaign goes live, which will be April 14th. So you got a couple of weeks, but there'll be a link in the show notes. So be sure to check that out. I mean, Nemesis I'm hyped about because Chris and Ray, I've actually not played the original Nemesis. So I feel like this might be a good way for me to dive into it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. What classic.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
So
it's going to be great. Well, I'd love to see you dive into it, Ruel. I can't wait to see it on your table and looking delicious.
Thank you, Chris. It will be on my table, looking delicious, and can't wait to go into that. One thing I will say, I'm glad that you played through more of these than I have, Chris, because I know you're not really a solo gamer, so that's really cool for me to hear that, because I've only played a couple of the games.
Yeah, it's an interesting system. It's such a quick system, right? That's what I do like about it.
Yes.
And I agree. I rarely play games solo, and so 20 Strong was really the one that I've dived into the most solo, really, out of any game. And
nice.
Yeah, it was a very fun system. Just sit down. Sometimes you just need to sit down, check some dice.
Yep.
What's better than that?
Exactly. I love checking dice. So, friends, again, that'll be, you can check out the link below in the show description. That's from Chip Theory Games, our sponsor for this episode, and partnering with Awaken Realms to bring all those great games to the 20 Strong series. All right. With that being said, well, it's been a minute since we've all hung out together. What is new with you all? Ray, what's new? What's going on in the world of Ray these days?
What's new with me? What am I doing? I'm going to PAX East this weekend, which I'm very excited about.
Nice.
Going to trying to make it a goal to go to some non-work shows this year.
I love that.
Because I love conventions. It's one of my favorite things about the hobby, but there comes a point where you work so many of them that you forget that, the joy and the fun of just attending one. So we're going to a couple this year, and PAX East is the first one, which is this weekend. So if you're there, come say hi. I'll be wandering around. Should be really fun.
That's great. Yeah, it's funny, when you start working in the industry, it's, you're hyped about working in the industry and you do the cons and stuff, and it's fun, but then it's always work, right?
Yeah.
You always have to be on or whatever, but just to go to a con to play, it's really, it's a joy. It still is a joy.
It's good. It's restorative for sure. Yeah. It's definitely a different experience that I think every now and then I need it to sort of reset my brain, and also just to remember what conventions are like from the flip side, you know?
Yeah.
Because it makes I work booths better when I remember what it's like to be walking up to booths, you understand both sides of that dynamic better. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've never been to PAX East. It's now local to me since moving to Providence, local-ish. It's in Boston. So yeah,
cool.
I can finally go to more shows now that I'm not in the middle of nowhere. I live in a somewhat central place now. So that's a nice change of pace.
Very cool. So nice to hear that. What about you, Chris? What's going on in the world of Chris these days?
How are you?
Well, I hurt my foot. I hurt my heel.
Oh no!
I got a weird bruise on my heel, and it hurts when I stand on it.
Oh,
so that's what's going on for me. No, I think it's because I was just standing
too
too much.
How do you bruise your heel?
Yeah,
I don't know. I've looked it up. I've been looking. Dr. Google has been treating me okay. I'm probably gonna have to go in to see someone or something.
Yeah.
Because it's been a couple of days, and I'm like, I'm not sure about that. And Google's like, people are like, it's a planter's wart. I'm like, it's not a planter's wart because it's not. It's more like a bruise. It's like a little black. Because I searched like little black dot on your foot. You're like, it's a planter's wart. I'm like, it's not a wart. I can't feel it.
Yeah,
I just want I want the world to know, even though
bunions?
I'm tainted. I'm the tainted version of the three. I'm not warted Grail. Okay, I'm simply tainted.
tainted.
No, because I've been traveling a little bit because I went to Dice Tower West recently, which was great. I played a lot of games because I was running a little World Series of Board Gaming mini tournament there. You can win your full like stay and play with the little buy-in.
Nice.
But it was great because I've done it so much, and I just was able to kind of let it ride and then play my own games on the side as it happened. And then if they had rules questions or judging questions, I'd pop up, I'd answer them, etc., or record who won. But otherwise,
cool.
it's see a lot of the same faces there too, and so a lot of people know what the deal is and how it's run. I'm like, great, go check in, go sit down. So I got to play a lot of games at Dice Tower West, which was awesome. And then I just came back from Breakout Con, which was my local Toronto convention, which is why I couldn't go to Level Up in New Jersey, and which Brian Ashman in the chat was shaming me on. I said, yes, you should shame Alex instead. But yeah, I had a great time at Breakout as well. Got to play a bunch of games. Again, ran a little thing for World Series just because it's my local convention, but got to hang out and play games with some cool people. Shout out to John from Chits and Cardboard, the YouTube channel Chits and Cardboard. He's an awesome dude. Cool. And he took care of me the whole weekend. We played so many games.
I love that.
Some of which like are on my short list for the 2025 now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, now that I've gotten a chance to play them, there were things that I was interested in from last year, never got a chance to play, and now I've played them, and now they could be on my honorable mentions. So
awesome.
Really, it's thanks to John that I'm able to even talk about this topic. But yeah, so that was what's been going on in the last couple of weeks for me. Busy March, but I'm gonna get to focus down in April, and then in May I'm on the road for like 7 months. So
that's right. Oh my gosh, that's your big summer season, right?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, you're both talking about convention stuff. One of my favorite things of going to cons as like a civilian, right? As a regular con goer, is having people teach me a game rather than me being the teacher. Like, I know we all teach a lot of games.
Isn't it the best?
Yeah.
My
it's
God.
the biggest treat.
It's
right?
so nice.
It's awesome. It's the best.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not teaching
It's such
you
a
thing.
treat. I love it so much.
People come up and they're like, please, you talk about this game all the time and you really like it. And I say, I don't care. Give me something new. You do the work. No, that's not true. I taught a couple of things at Dice Tower West, but I didn't really teach anything at Breakout, which was awesome. I just made John teach me the whole time, which was awesome.
It really is the best feeling. Oh my gosh.
So good.
Love that. Friends, we're doing something a little different today.
And
got some comments in chat we want to catch up with Ray or Chris while I have the comments here.
Just a quick one. Cyberdeck said, last con I went to, I was up until 2 a.m. and awake at 8 a.m. every day, nothing but gaming in between. That's what I want. You can't do that when you're clocked in, because then you die. Like, as much as I want to, whenever I'm at shows for work, and my friends are like, it's 11:30, let's play Nemesis right now. I'm like, oh God, I want to so bad. But I have 7 a.m. meetings. I cannot do that. So that's the energy I want to have at PAX East. I want to be playing a lot of games. That's the dream. That's the one comment I wanted to call out.
That's great. I usually hit like around, I think it's like 9 or 10 p.m. I'm like, okay, from here on out, it's like, card games, dice games, stuff like that. Super.
It's
like,
party games. Yeah.
Party games. Yeah. All my Euro game I do in the morning and afternoon. That's just my schedule is Euro games, heavier stuff in the morning and afternoon. Then we go light.
No, I somehow always find myself surrounded by sickos who want to play Euro games past 8 p.m. and it's my burden. I can't.
Let's do it. Give me
this is one of them right here.
Give me something themeless.
No. It has to be in the morning when I'm caffeinated.
Yeah. That's the key right there. Caffeinated. Okay. As we're coming up with our list here, we're going to be talking about our top 10 games of 2025. We're doing something a little different. Richard's already done his entire list. You can catch out on the channel, but he does have a brand new number 1, which he's going to share here. So Ray, Chris, and myself, we're going to go through 10 through 2, and then we'll switch it over to Richard for number 1. So stick around for that, friends. And as we always do we want to talk about the process that we went through to get to this, our top 10?
Ray?
Yeah, it was me waiting, gnawing at the bars of my enclosure for like 4 months, being like, when are we doing top games of 2025? What is happening? That was my process. Please. I know our schedules didn't align. We didn't get to do it during Christmas time. And then we had other sponsors and other things earlier, like for the last stream. Fine. That's been my process, has been just, I feel like in the past I've complained that I don't play enough games to be a good source of the best game list, right? Because I don't do like reviewing like you guys do, right? Like I don't have a YouTube channel. Like I don't have it. I can only justify so many new games a year, right?
Yep.
That's not like my corner of the industry where I can like write it off on my taxes. So in the past, I've been like, oh man, like these are games I really liked. And if you know me and you know my preferences, like these will be good recommendations. But like, I feel a little bit like a fraud being like, these are the best games of 2024 or whatever. But 2025, I really like, games. I hunkered down and I know, but like, I people take these lists very seriously. You know, the numerical ranking, it's very intense. And this year, in 2025, I made a real concerted effort of like, I am only buying new games that came out this year. I still don't buy like, 50 games like some people do every year. But all the games I bought, all the new games to me were releases of that year. And I was really proud of myself. So I feel really good about my top 3 this year. You can trust me this time.
Right on. Yeah.
That was my process, was waiting for us to talk about this because I feel like we've got good picks. I feel like last year was a good year for games.
Agree.
Yeah. That's my rant. And you guys, Richard came to us and was like, let's do the top whatever of 2025. And I was like, let's do the actual top of 2025, not the top Kickstarters, not the top hidden gems, which we can do later. But I want to get it off my chest first. These are my official, no other qualifiers, favorite games of 2025.
You know what, Ray? You're so passionate. I'll give you my spots if you want. You can take 6. You take 2 of mine. I'll do 1. Like
I'll just talk about all of them.
Yeah, you can talk about all of them.
Some of my picks did get sniped, though.
I know some of my picks got sniped too.
I'm upset about it.
Same.
Well, that just means
it was a competitive year. We liked a lot of the same games.
Yeah,
but you just got more of yours on the list then that you wanted to put on.
Yeah,
that's the benefit of it getting sniped.
Yeah,
that you get to talk about more things.
I feel like it was a really good year. Like I'll probably a great year for games in 2025. There was a lot of titles here. It was I struggled trying to narrow my list down. So and we'll talk more about that later because folks, as you're watching this live, don't forget at the end after we finish our top 10, we're going to talk about our honorable mentions and we'll also highlight some of those watching here live here. So stick around for that. Chris, any other thoughts as far as process and top 10 and stuff?
No, I just go to Board Game Geek and I search 2025 and then I scroll through everything. But I just realized that there's one that I didn't put on. So I really should you slurp one of mine and put it on right now. But I won't. I'll save it for the honorable mentions. Yeah,
Slurp?
you know when
you
slurp.
Ew.
Yeah, like you're a slurper.
I hate that.
Like Ray's not a slurper.
When you slurp the king. Is that not the expression?
Yeah.
Is it a Shakespeare thing? Like
it must.
It's the old English.
It must be a Shakespeare thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a silent. There's like it's the opposite of an umlaut over the second U.
Oh.
It's an underlaut, and that adds in that additional L.
That's called a slurp, really?
That's the traditional.
It's the implied L.
Yeah, it's the implied L. So it's actually pronounced.
Wait, okay, stop. Hold on.
Into you slurp.
No, he's joking.
Oh,
This is a bit, right? Ruel is too busting, and Chris is too devious, and I'm sitting here thinking I'm in on it, and then I thought this was like a thing.
No, Ruel's like, oh my god, really? Ruel's life. We were going to make Ruel go around saying like, oh, when the king got you slurp, you slurp the king.
It sounded so good too. Like when Chris said umlaut, I was like, oh, this is like serious. Okay, I should pay attention to this.
Yeah, umlaut, I know. I pulled it out. When you want people to take you seriously about like pronunciation, just like reference random umlauts, and people will be like, "Oh man, yeah, it really must be a thing." So it's like it's kind of an umlaut, but it's not. It's an underlaut.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that was great. Yeah, we are back, folks. We are back 100%.
That broke my heart.
That brought me great joy. Again, why I'm the tainted one. Dan, that's why we got the ethereal. Where am I pointing? I'm pointing that way. With the ethereal, dreamlike Ruel.
I've got my head in the clouds, believing anything I hear. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, why don't we kick things off with number 10?
I think we peaked. I think we shut the stream down here. I achieved everything I could ever want with this opening segment.
Yeah, this is life right here. But we're gonna continue, Chris. Let's start things off with Chris's number 10, our collective 10. Chris, kick it off, my friend.
Okay, my number 10 is, people have been pronouncing this game wrong, is Slurperidia. And
oh my god, okay.
It's
enough with this. Get him out of here.
You got me again.
Now it's God, is Ruel just the most precious treasure in this entire world? Because I think so.
He's so sweet. He's so cute.
Our number 10, I love Ruel so much, and this is, drop in the chat your appreciation for Ruel, because he's my favorite. Sorry, Ray, no offense, but I know he's your favorite too. So
it's fine.
Yeah, we gotta go with it.
Yeah, it's mutual.
So my number 10 is Arydia. Arydia just makes it on the list. Arydia wasn't going to make it on the list, but Ruel took one of my picks, and then Arydia got bumped up, which is great because I've been having a great time with Arydia. You can see I've been playing through with my good friend Zach on my channel. We've got up to 12 chapters filmed, 12 chapters aired, 13 chapters edited, 16 chapters filmed. And I've been releasing it once a month on the channel. It never performs well on the channel because it's just a big long campaign playthrough that nobody ever wants to watch. But I don't care because I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying doing it with my good friend Zach. It's been a very fun experience. Arydia is this large campaign game. It's basically a JRPG in a box. And would it have been better as a computer game JRPG? Maybe, but also then because I wouldn't have to sort through the millions and millions of little cards. But doing it with a friend has been very enjoyable because of their emphasis on their little role-playing system. So anytime you meet a character, somebody takes the character and has to answer with their sort of standard stock responses. It has been very fun to go through the journey, the open world, even though all the halflings in this game, spoiler alert, are awful. They're like very awful people. They're objectively awful. They're rude. They're like snotty. All of their characteristics are just like aggressive to you as an outsider or whatever you're called in Arydia. And it's wild. It's so wild that we were so mad at this halfling that we vowed never to return her herbs to her, that we had to go on a fetch quest to do, which we went to do the quest to get the herbs just so nobody else could ever get the herbs, to not return it to this rude halfling. It's just so, but also, spoiler alert, you need to give her the herbs to progress from one side of the map to the new map. So it's just the worst thing. We drained every drop out of that first initial map. Maybe this is why it's taking us so long. We drained every drop out of our first initial map because we didn't want to give her herbs. And then when we give her herbs, finally the boatman comes back for some reason that doesn't make any sense. So aside from that, you can see it's a way to sort of.
I was going to say, tell us what you like about the game.
What I do like about the game is that it is memorable. You know what I mean? It has this epic experience, and the combat system is really fun. I've been playing the wizard class. Zach's been playing the rogue class. He's gone full trap build that now he can just throw his traps out everywhere and sneak around, and I can now hit people with a giant fireball. I've just unlocked that in our progression. I got like an ice wall. And so delving into these different paths has been really fun. And I really like the combat system that you are rolling different types of dice against you, and it can hit different parts of your armor. So there's a chance that it goes through and takes away your health points, or there's a chance that your armor absorbs it. And we've been getting more and more armor as we've been going through. So that's been fun. I enjoy the open world aspect of it, and I have truly enjoyed playing it with my friend Zach, because if you think I'm a troll, well, he's like a troll for exploration. I'll be like, Zach, we need to go over here because it's very clearly where the camp is. He's like, yes, or we could just climb this mountain. I'm like, but Zach, and then I've established that I will.
Sounds like he'd be a great D&D player.
Oh, he is. He's also my go-to RPG guy. He's an incredible dungeon master.
That tracks.
He's such a great dungeon master. He's so good. And any like RPG system I've played with him. but yeah, it's been fun to experience with Zach in this chaotic way of exploration, to kind of push the bounds of the game and to see it not completely break. And for the most part, it has all been very, very exciting and fun to delve into. There've been a couple little sequences where I'm like, okay, this part sucks. But for like a very big giant game, we have played now 16 sessions of like a couple hours each. We've sunk 32 hours into this game, and we are still excited to get back together and excited to continue to play it. And so because of that longevity, now sure, we're excited because like filming it helps keep us on track, because we're like, okay, well, we got to get together, we want to film it, but it's also just like a nice thing. Like it's not something that's doing my channel any favors. In fact, it's hurting it.
No.
But like it's still something that I really am happy to do, and I'm excited to do, because it's like a really nice thing to share with one of my best friends and have that as like a memory, and have that as like a filmed experience of our big adventure together. So
That's really
I
cool.
think for like, yeah, the amount of time that we've gotten to sink into it, the amount of enjoyable interactions in it that make us want to keep going. I'm excited at some point the next time we die, we're going to switch classes. So we've made a pact to like, if we die, these people are dead. Like they got to change classes. We got to change characters.
Nice.
And just sort of respec up to that point. And so that sort of ramped up the tension. But it's also at some point too, I now feel like I've hit the point. I wanted to get my fireball as the wizard. And so now that I have the fireball, I'm going to use it a couple times, and then I'll be excited to also pivot and see what new classes there are. Because there's no rule against it. Just do it. It's your game. Have fun. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm not going to play through this whole thing again. So I want to see what the bard does. I want to see what the ranger does, because I've had such a good time exploring and growing in this aspect. So yeah, it's been a great time, a really great experience. And I think it's a testament to a game that in a content creator's schedule of needing to play new game constantly, we have over the last year sunk 32 hours into this game, and it's still going strong. So really fun game. Earns its stuff. The painted minis are in there. The quality of life elements are mostly great. There's still a lot of cards that get a bit tedious after a while. Like everything that you explore, you need to pull out a new map. But we now have a system of not putting those back into the box until the end of the campaign, or until the end of our like day. And we usually play like 8 hours in a day or something. So it makes it easier to clean up at the end. But yeah, it's fun. It's been great. Really like the combat system for sure.
Now, I know you've talked about this game before here on the show a few times, and it's always the thing that intrigues me the most is that combat system. You were saying, you roll the different dice for and it could hit different parts of your armor and stuff. To me, that's super intriguing. Like I can't remember any other game that I've played like that recently.
Yeah,
and,
makes your gear feel meaningful.
Yeah, and the fact that you've played it so much, I mean, it's a testament to its staying ability, right? I mean, it's you wouldn't be just doing the same thing over and over again. I mean, if you're going to spend that much.
That's true. We would have stopped if it was bad. Like we wouldn't be putting ourselves through it. We would just be like, nah, we're done. Okay, see ya. And then I would have sold it, right? But the fact that we will finish the campaign, and like it'll be a long campaign. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So Arydia, very nice.
That's really cool.
Well, cool.
I love that you're sticking with it, even if it's like not, the optimal videos for your channel or something. I do think, like you said, that's a testament to the fact that you're enjoying it. I do feel like as a content creator, sometimes you do need to do stuff just for yourself, or else it like
100%.
It's bad for the mental.
Yeah, for sure. And it's more like it is fun to film, because it'll be a fun thing to have to look back on, like just with me and one of my closest friends, right? Like that's a cool thing that I want. And so like later on I can be like, oh, hey, remember when we have like 50, 60 hours of Iridia, just you and I playing? That's like might not be watchable for anybody else, but it's good for us. Great.
Yeah. It's literally chronicling your adventure with one of your best friends. You could look back 20 years from now. I think that's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I need to reach out to some of my friends. Like, let's play a game for 40 hours and, record it.
It's cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Chris. What a great number 10.
Before we move on to the next one.
Friend and not neighbor goblin. Friend and not neighbor.
Had...
right.
Lorelai had a question in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
They asked, do you need someone to play with to make the most of a campaign game like Arydia? basically, can you play it solo?
That's a great question. I feel like Sean in the chat is playing it solo. Yeah, Sean just dropped it in. As Sean says, he thinks he'd like it more that way.
Okay, perfect.
He said, I get bored fast by play acting. I think you would need to have the right person, because I definitely could see it being tedious if I was playing with anyone other than Zach. But it's like Zach has such a good buy-in that like he makes me buy in for like the characters, and we can like create these narratives. Otherwise, it's just kind of like, okay, draw a card, read some text, flip it over, read some text, and that's fine. But I think like part of the enjoyment of my doing it with Zach is our interaction. But I also recognize that this is the outlier and not the norm, for sure.
Okay, cool. Great question. Thank you, friends in chat, for bringing those up. Appreciate it. Let's move on to our number 9, which I'm going to take. This is our collective number 9. This game I played for the first time actually earlier this year at OrcaCon. And within 1 minute, less than a minute, I said this is going to be one of my best games of 2025, guaranteed. And it's a game that, honestly, it's sort of hard to find right now, but it's called Lightspeed Arena. Okay, so what is Lightspeed Arena? I'm glad you asked, Ruel. What Lightspeed Arena is, it's a real-time tile laying game. But I'm just going to lead right off with this statement. For my money, it's got the best integration of an app and a board game ever created. Ever. So,
because you take the picture and it does all the stuff for you, right?
Yeah, that's what it is, Chris. So real quick, just the game is everyone has the same set of spaceship tiles. You're going to shuffle them up, reveal one, and then place one on your playing surface, your table or whatever. As you can see here, we're going through it. At the beginning, there may be some asteroids or some other things out there. What you're doing is just placing these one at a time, real time. You got like 10, 15 seconds to do one tile. Then you flip over a tile, and then you do it again with your next spaceship. And you do it several more times. I think it's 8 spaceships in total in your deck. Okay, so you have all your spaceships there. What you're trying to do is aim towards your opponents and or those little stations, because it's mining. You can mine the asteroids for points. And then what you do is, I'm going to skip ahead here. You take a photo of your completed table, all the tiles out there, and then you use the app. And as you can see here in this video, the app does the work for you. So it's going to count down, how much time you have. And then after you take the picture, it is going to show you the results. So it literally shows you, and if I can find it here, it's going to show you what happened in your space battle here. So as you can see, the animation, it goes, it shoots the, shows who's getting shot, who is mining, all this other stuff that's going on. It's keeping the point values. As you can see, they pop up there, and it resolves everything. And it is brilliant. It's got some really cool effects, visual and audio. And I love the snarky commentary. There's actually like little snarky comments that the narrator does there. Nice. Really fun. But it's maybe a 5 to 10 minute game. I literally played this thing a dozen, maybe 15 times at OrcaCon. That's how much I loved it. Wow. It was like a huge hit at the con. Everyone wanted to keep playing Lightspeed Arena, and for that's why it's our number 9. It could have easily been my number 1. It's so good, and it's so just brilliantly done. Yeah, party game-ish, but at the same time there's strategy, because when you're placing your tiles, when it resolves, what the app does, it resolves in numerical order. So your number 1 ship will resolve first, all the way up to your number 8. So your number 8 ship's the most powerful, but will it survive? Because it might be shot up by other ships 1 through 7, and it may not be up there. And of course, everyone's placing their ships at different times, as it's randomized in your shuffle there. Oh, it's so good, Chris and Ray. I can play this game all the time. Like, it's brilliant.
I'm glad you brought this up. I think I would have totally written this off. First of all, just whenever I hear apps and games, I'm not totally against them. Like, there definitely are instances where I like it, but I get that little bit of like a feeling. And this looks like, art-wise, at least to me, it's not up my alley. It looks like generic space game. Your description of it, that sounds like up my alley. I love that like chaotic player interaction, and if the app is facilitating that sort of narrative and like it looks really good. I'm
Ray,
glad you brought it up.
Yeah, Ray, I think
I would have
love this
never
game.
picked this up otherwise.
Yeah, and when it was described to me, I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. It's only 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
But immediately, like the group that I walked into Orcon, we played it like 6 times in a row. I was like, I do not want to stop.
Cool.
Like it was so much fun. But Chris, you were familiar with this. You guessed it right off the bat. Have you played it already or?
No, I just remember when it was on crowdfunding.
Yeah.
And I remembered thinking, oh, that's a cool way to automate things and make it happen quickly, because to do it manually would be fiddly. I think you can do it manually, like you just see the points coming out, and that's where things are shooting. Like that's the game. You throw the ship down, orient it how you're gonna how it's gonna shoot, and that's it. But just having the app be able to manage that, I think gives it the potential for you to bang out 2 or 3 games in the time it would have taken you to do one.
Exactly.
And I think, like you're saying, like that's the vibe, and that's why it's sang for you, because it's just like, boom, throw things down. What happened? Oh, your ship blew up. Oh no. Okay, let's do it again. Boom. Right. Versus like, okay, your ship hits here and hits here and hits here. I think it is sort of. Yeah,
feels like
good
that
call.
quick feedback is what that sort of game wants.
It really is. And
with the slow it down, I feel like it loses that what makes that sort of game fun.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's literally called light speed for a reason, right? You want it to be quick and not clunky. What's cool too is, like, as you can see here, some of the pieces they're putting out here besides the ships. Some of those, like either an asteroid you could mine for extra points, but there's other obstacles that, hey, you can't shoot through. Others that will bounce your lasers off, so they go off at different angles. And there's all kinds of other neat things there. It's so good.
Nice.
The thing I want to bring up, so this is actually based, this is a re-implementation of an older game called Lightspeed from Cheap Ass Games, and that was before they had apps. So it was just like you described, Chris. You would literally take your piece of string and see where the lasers would shoot, and that you would keep track of score. And I remember the Jonathan Geek Dad, who taught me this game, he had the original, so he used to have like a little laser pointer, and he would use that to find out where everyone was getting hit and stuff. So this is definitely an improvement over the original.
That's kind of fun though. The laser pointer is cute. That's a cute solution.
And I saw that timer it times your turns, right? When you're throwing things down.
Yes.
Which also helps. It's like, where am I gonna go? I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it here. Having only like 5 seconds to make a choice. I can see that being like really frenetic and fun.
Yeah. It's so good. It's light strategy, but it's got that party game vibe. And as I said, this is how I want an app to be used, right? To enhance the gaming experience. And it's like you're still playing a tactile, board game, but it's gonna make it like a little more fun with its video and audio and stuff. And it keeps score for you too. So that's the brilliant part of the app. But I could talk about this game all day long. For like a 5-minute game, I love it. And the only reason, like, it's not my number one is because it's tough to get right now. It was crowdfunded, and now it's just, I don't know, like, it's sold out everywhere. I'm trying to track down a copy of it. I would love to get a copy, but if anyone knows, drop a comment below where I can get a copy.
Yeah, I would totally try that out. I like that it's got one phone, right? It's just the one phone that you need.
Yep.
I think that's one of, as you were talking, I was like, why do I not like phones in my board games? And I feel like if it's everybody needs something, first of all, it's cumbersome, and also that's when I feel like, are you looking at the app, or are you just like on Instagram when people have their phones out and stuff? When it's one communal phone, I feel like it's different. So
and
that's cool.
When we
Good
played,
choice.
Jonathan had his iPad, so he would just take it in like the iPad.
Oh, nice.
It was huge, and it was way more
That's
epic
fun.
with the iPad. But Lightspeed Arena, folks, that's our number 9. Let's move on to our number 8, which Ray's gonna take. Ray, what we got for number 8?
All right. This is not surprising. This had to be on the list somewhere. I wasn't sure who was going to end up getting it, but it's me. If you have hung out with me in the last 6 months, I have without a doubt tried to make you play this game with me. Our number 8 is Hot Streak.
Yes.
It is sentient mascot racing, betting game, super crazy, frenetic, overproduced, so many ways I could describe this game. But it is very unique, and I think we've had a lot of racing games in the last few years. This is hands down my favorite. It feels the easiest to get to the table. It's the goofiest. It's the theming is phenomenal. If you're unfamiliar with Hot Streak, I think I've talked about it maybe on my best of so far list. But as I said, sentient mascots running across a football field. You're all going to look at a deck, and you're going to see all the cards in the deck are going to be various types of relatively innocent movements for these 4 characters, like go to the right, or, go forward 4 spaces, maybe turn around. And then you're going to bet on who you think is going to win, which of the mascots you think will get to the end first. And then the randomness and the fun, like excitement and tension comes in with the order in which those cards come out. Because again, you all see all the cards in the deck. Everybody gets to seed one of their own cards from their hand. Sometimes that can have big implications. It depends on kind of how many people you're playing with. But for the most part, you're aware of what's in the deck. Like, oh, there's a lot of movement cards for Dangle, or like, ooh, man, Hurley doesn't have a whole lot going on for him. The fun bit is the order in which those cards come out matters a bunch. So if my boy Dangle, who I will always go all in on, if he's got a 4 movement card, but before the 4 movement card, he gets a turnaround card. Now, not only is he not moving forward in the forward direction, he's turning around and he's running backwards, which could result in him running off the field or swerving off the field. In this game, it's ridiculous. It'll get a group of adults yelling over a hot dog man, and anything that can do that is good in my book. I think it's goofy, it's silly. My favorite thing about the game is also my one critique of the game, which is that it is really nice. Like, everything in this game is really crazy high quality. I wish there was a throw it in my bag, take it to the bar version, because this is so nice. I am not bringing this to the bar. That right. Literally, the thought of that gives me hives. This game is like $55. And part of me wants like a version like that I can just throw on a table, because I worry about even just traveling with that box. I've got a big board game backpack that I throw stuff in when I go to my parents' house or whatever. And Hot Streak always makes me a little nervous because that little plexiglass window at the front feels kind of fragile. It makes me a little nervous, but it also feels, I like that choice ultimately. Like, sometimes it's annoying, but I think it's cool that they went for it. They made this sort of like bespoke, almost toy-like product for adults, which I think is fun. We don't often get these big, colorful, ridiculous games like this. Normally they're for kids, so it's a fun like inner child moment to pull out Hot Streak and be like, let's do the hot dog man game. It's a delight. If you like silly games, yelling with a lot of randomness, I will say this has kind of also become my litmus test for friends, because some people really bounce off this game. They really don't like that it's goofy. They don't like the randomness, and that goes into the mental bank of, you are never coming over to my house ever again. You are never coming again.
Yeah, so
watch out. Take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, it's my type of game. I do understand if you don't like the randomness and the ridiculousness. Not for you, but it is for me. So that's Hot Streak.
Yeah,
nice. I do have a question for you, Ray.
Yes.
Is Hurley the hot dog?
Hurley's the hot dog.
Dangle
yes.
The hot dog.
Hurley's the hot dog. Dangle is the fish. And then Mom is the queen who always loses. Never vote on Mom. I have never been in a single game. I think we talked about this last time, Ruel.
Yeah.
She's cursed.
And
then the other one. Yeah. And then what's the bear?
The bear is
we don't need to talk about bears.
Yeah.
Oh, and they all have really cute names and backstories. And my favorite thing ever, actually, we had 2 of our friends over recently who had not played this game before. And one of our friends is insistent that before he hears the rules, before he hears anything, you must read him the flavor text. Like, he needs to get himself into the game. And it was such a fun moment when I pulled out Hot Streak and my partner sat there and read the opening first 10 pages like it was a picture book to everybody. Because if you don't know, the first half of the rule book of Hot Streak is just a picture book telling you the story of these 4 mascots. It was a delight. It was super cute. I love that they made the rule book twice as big as it needed to be, just so that they could have a picture book included in the rule book.
Agreed.
The bear's name is Gobbler.
Gobbler is the bear.
Gobbler.
Yeah,
Gobbler. Yes, you're so right. The thing is, all I care about is Dangle. So these other characters don't mean anything to me.
Yeah, who cares? Get Dangle the fish.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the hot dog, the Hurley, the hot dog.
Yeah.
We've talked about this game before. I agree with you, Ray. This is the one that it's such a toy. It's for us, the gamers who are, and it's so good. It's what I call it. It's like the lighter version of Ready, Set, Bet. It's totally streamlined and more accessible to new players. I love Ready, Set, Bet. I love Hot Streak. And you talked about not wanting to bring this to the bar or whatever, because I get it. The commodes are super nice, but they are fragile. The one I've been bringing these days, and I'm just going to spoil it. It's not on the list, but it could have easily been one of mine, is the game Magical Athlete. It's a similar. It's also by CMYK. It's a racing game, but it's like got these meeples that are totally not destructive proof, but you can bring them to the bar. I brought this game out, and it's a lot of fun. But anyways, I don't CMYK. I love their games. They just the quality, the components. They're not afraid to go big and bright, which I love. And it's just a lot of fun. Hot Streak it's a winner, folks. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I won't rehash the magical athlete rant from last stream, but I will say I'm on Bonds' side.
Oh, you're on Bonds' side. Oh, okay. All right.
I love something about it, and you'd think I'd like both because of how much I love Hot Streak.
Yeah, I like both. I like both.
I know Ruel was looking for an ally.
I have no allies.
I would definitely pick. No, you're on an island, sir. I'm sorry.
Darn it.
Yeah. I think we can say that Hot Streak has usurped magical athlete.
There you
go.
On this channel,
in the ranking.
Sure, yes.
In the ranking.
You slurped. Okay, well, so far off to a great start. We've got our first couple of games in. Let's move on to number 7. Chris, take us to number 7, please.
It's me. It's not Richard. Richard is currently putting on an astronaut suit while he's going to be making cotton candy on the top of a Ferris wheel for his number 1 announcement. That's what I heard. So stay tuned to see what he is. Yeah, and if he doesn't, well, scream at him in the comments.
And Christmas is
really violently. Christmas will be canceled. We're going to cancel Christmas.
Yes. Cancel your Christmas. Do you watch Survivor?
Oh, you bet I do. Q, my boy Q.
Cancel your Christmas.
Oh, I love that's his catchphase.
Oh, we got to talk Survivor after this. Okay, don't want to derail, but I caught that reference.
Oh, yes, baby. Oh, it's such a good season so far.
It's so good. Oh, I've got a Survivor draft going on right now at work.
Oh, whoa!
Let me tell you, I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, I was into a fantasy pool as well. We draft our people.
Okay, we'll have to
chat. We could just talk about Survivor, the top of 2026 and 2025, and all the way back to 2001. Honestly, I haven't yet played the Survivor game, the Tribe has Spoken, but my friends have it, and they say it's great, and that it's just like a player elimination game.
I've heard that too. I've heard Jeff was like relatively involved with it, and he was like big into doing it, which gives me hope. I always get nervous with that kind of game. You never know, but I have heard also surprisingly good.
Yeah, so I mean that could be a potential honorable mention. Talk about top games of 2025.
Oh, there you go.
Your game neither of us have played, absolutely.
Yeah, let's put it in. We're gonna we're putting it right here. 7.5. The Tribe has Spoken for the Survivor board game. But we're gonna go on to our number 7. Our collective number 7 is Everslurp Slurper Frost. I believe that's how you call it. Everdell Silverfrost is number 7, and it's more Everdell, but it's better than Farshore by a large margin because it actually gives you different cards instead of Farshore, which gives you mostly the same cards and the same game. This is actually a different game, and it's awesome. Everdell is one of my favorite games ever. I have it as my number 2 game of all time right now, and it's just any of these iterations. I love Everdell so much, and Silverfrost is great. It brings in, if you're familiar with Everdell, it brings a new snow mechanism where snow covers parts of the board, and then you need to use fire to go to those spots to clear the snow. But snow also covers parts of your tableau as well, and until you clear the snow off of those tableau, then you cannot use those actions. And it goes in a hierarchy as well. So like your blue actions, which are your permanent actions, get covered first. Well, your purple ones get covered first, and then your blue, and then your red and your green and your bindles afterwards. But it's great. It's great because it adds in that tension. It is exactly what I wanted Spire Crest to be, the expansion for Everdell, which adds in like a harder elements to make it harder to do things, but this makes it actually work and be fun in a way that isn't awful, which is what Spire Crest is my least favorite Everdell expansion. But I love Silverfrost, and it incorporates like the big critters. So there's also a mountain space at the top of the board where you can go and you can get these one-time critters. It also costs fire to go there, but you get these one-time powerful spots. And so like in Everdell, you have the little forest spaces around the side, which are, permanent good spots to send your workers. These are better spots to send your workers, but it's only one time. And so they rotate through. It's always shifting. And the longer they're up there, the more points that they're going to be worth. So it incentivizes you to grab points and get something to chain it in. The objective system is great too. Instead of the events, there's objectives that you're completing where you're competing against people to like your left or right or whatever. It's just great. It's more Everdell is great Everdell. The reason why I don't like Far Shore as much, Far Shore is, I think, the weakest of the series for me, is because it doesn't give you ways to get rid of cards, and Silverfrost brings back some ways to like trash cards in your lineup, which I always find very satisfying and very fun. I love balancing the new fire mechanism, and it gets harder to clear snow as it goes on, and really balancing that out. But it also gives you a reason to get purple cards earlier, because snow is going to fall on the purple cards. And sure, you can clear that snow whenever you want, but if you get snow sitting on a purple card, you don't have to worry about it taking over like a green production ability or a blue permanent ability. And so it gives you a reason, whereas you should never buy purple cards until the end because they're end game points. It gives you a reason to put them out as well, which I think is neat. It also improves upon Far Shore's free worker space. So in regular Everdell, you have a specific worker tied to something. Like the historian is always tied to the clock tower. You can build it for free, right? The wife or the husband or the hunter, the harvester and the gatherer now, that they switched to a non-gendered version, which is great. It is in newer versions, it always comes for free with the farm, right? That's how the base Everdell works. In Far Shore, they gave you 3 anchors that you could use whenever you wanted. You put it on a color and you summon something of that color. And so it always kind of made more sense to save them for your big purple ones that cost the most money. In Everdell Silverfrost, you only get 2 chimneys, which act the same way, but you get one as an income, and then you get another one as an income later. So you kind of drip feed them, and they're tied into the specific card. So one card will specifically let you get a creature who's green, and then another one will specifically let you get a unique creature. And I don't know, just the balance of it and how it shakes up. And it's not just like purple is purple. It feels so much better. There are things that let you take your chimneys back and you can play a whole chimney game. The flow of this game is awesome. Next year when we do this list, Everdell Emerland will be on it as well, because Emerland's going to come out this year, and it's also
someone in chat
awesome.
Was asking what your thoughts were on that upcoming.
Calling it already.
Oh, it's also fantastic. I did a playthrough for them, and I still have my pre-production copy, and I've played it since, and love that for many different reasons, which I'll talk about in a year. Or you can go and see like my final thoughts from me and my buddy Zach. Like, we've played through a lot of Everdell. He has all the expansions for it, but not the big box, because the big box you can get actually all the expansions into a regular box of Everdell if you're just like, and then you can actually take it places instead of have a big box on your shelf that you'll never use or pull out for no reason. But yeah, I love Silverfrost. I love having Silverfrost. Silverfrost, Emerland, and regular Everdell are going to stay firmly in my collection. Now that Emerland exists, I think Far Shore might get on the way out, because I just don't see it going to making play. But the fact that you can have 3 games with a similar system and that are different enough to warrant being on a shelf, like I'll play any of the 3 of those any day of the week. Love Everdell so much. Like, I still go back and forth between which one I like the best. And I think that's awesome. Do I prefer Emerland or Silverfrost? I don't know. I sometimes am Emerland. I'm sometimes Silverfrost. I'm sometimes base Everdell. Yeah, they're all great.
I just listening to your description of this and watching Richard's video, Chris, I'm excited to jump back into the world of Everdell. I played a bunch of the original game, but I just never got around to playing the expansions or any of this stuff. But this looks awesome. I love the was it the snow mechanism or whatever, the thing that you cover? This looks really cool.
That sounds really innovative and cool. The snow concept.
Yeah, I would take this over most expansions for Everdell. The main Everdell expansion that I think is great is New Leaf, and all the other ones, meh. I don't really care about. Belfair's okay because it gives you like variable player powers, but I would, if you've got Everdell, I would contact and are thinking about an expansion, either go New Leaf or go Silverfrost, really, or Emerland. And Sean is incorrect in the comments saying best Everdell standalone new edition is Wondrous Creatures. So wrong. I now have Wondrous Creatures and I've played it. I can definitively, Richard was like, this is going to kill Everdell for you. Absolutely not. You guys are all baloney. It's like Judge Judy up in here. Baloney. Wondrous Creatures is good. It's definitely fun. I actually quite enjoy it. But the key difference between those two things, because you're going to hear this comparison a lot, and this is the definitive statement on it, is that Wondrous Creatures is more of a race, and Everdell is more optimization. Yeah. And so for me, I prefer optimization over a race. But I like Wondrous Creatures fine, but you don't have the limit. You don't have the limit of the tableau, and it's the limit of the tableau that just like makes your choices matter. Versus like I'm going to play as many as I can as quickly as possible. Which it's a different style of game, but one style is better, and that's optimization for everyone.
Very nice, Chris. All right, Everdell Silverfrost. Moving right along, we've got what do we have? Oh, number 6. Oh, that's gonna be me. All right, cool. Number 6, friends, in our top 10 of 2025 is a game that I know Chris is familiar with, and this
was on my list.
Yeah, this literally rocked my world. It's a game called How to Save a World. It's our collective number 6.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this, and this was. When I say it rocked my world, I had received a review copy of this, and I didn't really. I mean, I like the theme. I love sci-fi, but once I started reading the rules, like, oh, okay, this is gonna be good. And then you just know from a good rule book, it's gonna be good, right? And then when I actually got it to the table, played with friends, I was like, oh yeah, this is really good. I loved everything about this. It's a worker placement game at its heart. I love the theme. We're on this planet and we're going to try to save the world from this asteroid that's going to come in and destroy it. And there are 3 different ways to you have 3 different options to do. You can either build a powerful laser, shoot it out of the sky, or you could build a energy shield, which is defense, and the other option is we know we're going to get slaughtered, so let's just build a ship and get the heck out of here, evacuate to the nearest moon, and try to take as many species as we can. So that's the theme. It's really fun, and as you can see, the asteroid there on the screen, that basically showing you when it's going to come. Every turn it's going to move, but it is a worker placement game, deck building game, and you're moving up tech tracks. And I love everything about this. It's very satisfying when as you're comboing stuff, extending your turns, which gave me a lot of feel of another game that Burn Island did a couple of years ago, or is it 2 years ago, I believe, Deep Sea, Endeavor Deep Sea. Just very satisfying, like, you just feel good about, okay, here, I'm going to play this card. Oh, that lets me do this. Oh, it lets me get more resources, which allow me to do more. It's a lot of that in this game when we start playing it. And as I said, it's just super satisfying. And that's what I really loved about this. The theme is cool. It's about saving, a planet, and you're competing to see which of the plans is going to win. Is it going to be the big laser in the sky? Is it going to be the big shield? Or we just get to get the heck out of here? And you're building towards that. And it's got this, I don't know, I guess the narrative arc of it I really like. Like, we all start, like, we're trying to get our plans to be the best plans or the most accepted plans. But as you know, all plans go awry. And hopefully by the end, you've gotten enough to get your plan out there to score the most victory points. I love this game so much this year. Again, it's one of those games that just hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but I did. I love it. And that's our number 6, How to Save a World. Chris, you want to talk about your friend or your neighbor, not friend?
Not neighbor.
Yeah, absolutely not my friend.
Not friend, yes, neighbor.
Not my friend. That'd
be even weirder if you were like insisting he's my friend. He does not live next to me. He's not my neighbor. That bit doesn't work the other way around.
Our backyards almost touch. You've always my neighbor and not my friend. And I want to make that very clear, because then that makes me objective on saying that this is a great game. Because if he was my friend, maybe I wouldn't be objective, but he is not. He is simply my neighbor and not my friend. And so then I can say that this is also a great game. Yeah, I this was on my list. I was excited to talk about it. I am happy that it is on yours as well, because
that you slurped.
It got you slurped. Yeah. You slurped it. You slurped me. And the original title for this was originally How to Slurp a World, but then they changed it in development.
Yeah, not as marketable, oddly enough.
Yeah, which is surprising. I would have bought it more. That was part of it when playtesting it. I liked it. But I'd seen this game evolve over the course of time, and I just think Burnt Island does such great production quality on their games. I think it turned out really, really nicely. My favorite element of it, I think, is, well, there's two. I really like the dual worker placement, that you have to be on the moon or you have to be on the Earth. And you can move pretty easily, but it just costs you a resource. And it costs you a turn, right? It costs you action efficiency, which is important when people are grabbing spots from you.
Yeah.
So I really like that aspect of it. And then I do like the cost for your cards, because it originally started out as a deck builder. It was going to be more of a deck builder game, and then in development, that was one of the major changes that I think like the development team at Burnt Island brought forward, is changing it. No, let's just make it you have your whole hand every time.
Yeah.
But then adding more cards in costs you the number of cards that you already have. And so really getting choosy as you ramp up. Okay, you want to slurp up all those green cards, right? You want to get them in because those are going to be scoring conditions for you, but you have to balance that with the actions and the boosts to give you better actions. And so I think finding that balance is really interesting here as well. So I think it's great.
I'm glad you brought that up. I called it a deck builder because that was the first thing that came up. But you're right. It is not actually a true deck builder, right? Because you do have your entire hand available. You are adding cards, but as you said, it increases the cost. Also, the thing that you said about moving your workers from, one planet to the moon, or the moon back to the planet. I just realized something. I think that reminds me of the Vital Lacerda game on Mars, where you have two different locations, right? Moving, things back, your workers back and forth. But the Lacerda game, it makes my head explode. Whereas this one, it's like, okay, I get it. And it's still a nice little challenge, but it's not like super intense. And that's what I prefer these days in my games. Like, I want to get them to the table and not spend 3 hours reading or 4 hours, 5 hours reading a rule book and then going to BGG and
that's
checking
fair.
out. Yeah. So that's why I love it. Again, your neighbor, not friend, Yuval, has done a phenomenal job. Chris, this is a banger of a game, and I hope to see more from your neighbor, not friend, in the near future.
Yeah, I'll say also too, we have on Room and Board, we have these monthly death matches. They're just like monthly madness board game tournaments on a specific theme. And so every December I do like the Champion of Champions death match, where you take the winners and the runners up from all the 11 months leading up to it, and then I add in games that we have talked about a lot as a community over the course of the year to have a big sort of matchup. And How to Save a World was in the top 2 of that, and it only lost to what my next game is going to be. And so just in terms of people voting on things, and in terms of sort of like best of the year, that took out games that weren't even 2025, right? That we just talked about, that had won previous tournaments. Speaks to sort of the quality of it. And Yuval's got so like he's popping off. It's just kind of snowballing for him, which is great.
Good.
In terms of designs, I talked about in terms of upcoming, I talked about Arydia. That's going to be his next one that's coming out, and he's got, I think, another thing in the pipipeline with Burnt Island KDBG as well.
Nice. Exciting.
Yeah, so he might. There's a bunch coming from him, which is really exciting and really
that's
cool.
Awesome. I feel like getting that ball rolling as a designer is not the hardest part, but it's a big barrier to like springboarding your career. So good for him. That's awesome that it led to more work and more publishing opportunities.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. All right. Thanks for that, friends. Let's move on to number 5, and we're gonna go back to Ray for this one.
Me. Okay. Number 5 is A Wild Venture. This is a 2-player engine destroying game, which is a genre that I've been like weirdly into lately. I don't know what it is. It may or may not come up again on this list later. I really like it because I don't know if it's that like when it's just purely building, it gets too big and too unwieldy. There's something that I like about if it's paced correctly, if you're building up your engine and then you start to destroy it, and that's still an interesting second half of the game that isn't just, oh my God, I have to keep track of a million things.
Yep.
Make more engine destroying games. I want to play them. I'm really into this as a concept lately. But this is Wild Venture. You are playing, it's a 2-player game, which we'll talk about in a minute, but you're going to pick one of 3 cute little critter children. There's a frog, there's a crow, and there's a rabbit. And you are on a quest to do good deeds for your community, which is a really cute theme. And the art in this game is delightful and adorable. It's just really, really pretty to look at. You are going to be, over the course of the game, those 3 characters that I mentioned also correspond to 3 different suits of cards. So you've got frog cards, crow cards, and rabbit cards. It doesn't matter necessarily which character you're playing. You'll start with a couple and then you can kind of go whatever route you want. And those 3 different suits of cards correspond to 3 different styles of gameplay. So I believe the rabbit is all about getting a lot of money and a lot of income. The crow is about getting a lot of card draw. And then the frog is all about going out and adventuring. And the gameplay loop is you're going to take cards from your hand. And there's a couple different types of cards, but the main type of card you're playing are like the critter cards. You're going to be putting them out, and each critter card has a set number of times that it can then be activated. So on your turn, you're either playing cards from your hand or you're activating cards that already exist in your tableau. And you'll see here on this video, those little coins that are on the cards, that tells you how many uses that activation has left. And this is what one of the things I find really interesting about this game is that once a card has been used up, you've activated it as many times as you can, it then gets tucked into your scoring pile, which is a face down pile. And the only critic cards that score are cards that are in that pile. And they score by multiplying your smallest group of, like, your smallest kind of card. So again, we said there were 3 suits. If you've got 2 crows, 3 rabbits, and 4 bunnies or whatever, you multiply your smallest group by your largest group. So in that case, you'd have 8 points. So it incentivizes you to try different strategies and not just go with one thing. You can, because there are other ways to get points. So if you just really want to go a big card draw strategy and build a bunch of buildings and whatever, and not lean into that scoring mechanism too much, you don't have to. A lot of people don't like the scoring. A lot of reviews that I've seen have said they love the gameplay loop. The scoring doesn't make any sense. It feels really devoid from the rest of the game. I disagree. I think it's really unique. I maybe wish that it wasn't quite as punishing if, you've got a ton of crow cards tucked, you've got 8, and then you only have like 1 rabbit and 1 frog. That really hamstrings like your score in the end. I do like being able to go down one route really intensely, but that's how the game's designed. And a lot of people don't like that you can't look at your scoring pile. I think that's fun. I like the whimsy. I like the randomness of trying to remember how many frog cards did I play. And then I love overcompensating, being like, oh man, I haven't played any crow cards. Let me play a bunch of crow cards. And then you open up your pile and you're like, oh no, I did play crow cards. I just forgot about them. And now my score is all weird. I think that's whimsy and fun. I get where the criticism of the scoring comes from. I like it. I think it's fun and unique. And if you don't, I'm trying to think about how to phrase it. If you're the type of person who needs all that information and gets really stressed out by not being able to control and optimize perfectly, you're not going to like that. As I've said, I like the whimsy. I think it's fun. The card mechanics are really interesting. My one actual critique with this game is how it's marketed. It is marketed as a quick and fast-paced 2-player game, which it is only one of those things. It is a 2-player game that is neither fast nor quick. It is not fast-paced. This game is very thinky. There are a lot of things you need to keep track of on your turn, how many actions you have left, what you've activated, what you haven't. It's a lot crunchier. I love the art. I think it's charming and adorable. Just don't let it deceive you. I would consider this more of like a middleweight game than it looks. It looks like it's a light little romp, a nice little fast-paced. I take long turns in Wild Venture. I sit down for Wild Venture. I'm playing Wild Venture for like 2 hours is like where I'm at with this game.
Wow.
And maybe that's because I'm slow and I get analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
But for me, I played this a lot with my mom over the holidays. I would say it was like a 90-minute to 2-hour game, leisurely playing and chatting, whatever, and letting ourselves retcon our turns and stuff. But this is a heavier game than it looks. I really, really like it though. My only other critique of it is that I wish it wasn't just 2 players. Maybe that's my own lack of design knowledge. I don't see why it needs to be a 2-player game. It really is a lot of multiplayer solitaire. There's a couple of mechanics like the gear cards, I think they're called, trigger based on what other people are doing. But I wish this could go up to 3 or 4 because I would love to play this with my partner and my mom. I think all 3 of us would enjoy it, and there's no way for us to all have that experience together. But that's just because I like the game so much that I want to play it with more people. It's not necessarily like a real critique of the mechanics itself. But yeah, this is a wild venture. I really was surprised with this one. I enjoyed it a lot.
Awesome. Nice. This flew under my radar. I remember hearing about it. It did look lovely, and it was described as a two-player quick game. It's like, okay, cool. I'll get around to it eventually. But now, Ray, you're talking.
Maybe it's my fault, but I don't think it's fast-paced. Not how I would describe this. You got to keep track of stuff.
It sounds deeper than expected, and now I'm excited to give this one a shot. So
it's actually like a great weight. I really like the weight of this game. I only bring that up in a like, don't be fooled. Don't think it's like 30 minutes because you're not playing this game in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to sit down for a slightly crunchier experience than you may be expecting, it's a delight. I really like it.
And you described it as an engine building / engine wrecking game, and I'm a huge fan of these type of games. It's new to me as well. Another one may be coming up on the list. We'll see. Yeah, but this one, based on Ray, what you said, Ray, I need to play this ASAP. This looks fantastic. So
yeah.
Well, I like that potential length too, because sometimes if you have those engine building and destroying games, like I just played Nar. Have you played Nar?
Yes, love Nar.
Yes, I think once.
But it's so quick, right? You're just playing colors, and so basically you have like 5 different colors. Every time you play another card on a color, you will then get to activate everything. But you can spend those cards to buy other cards to get points. From them. But that's what I think of in terms of like you're building your engine and then you're deconstructing. But in Nar, it's sometimes so quick. Like I played it recently, and I was like, after 3 turns, I was like, well, I'm pretty sure that I win. But I guess like we can keep playing.
Yeah, it's a race game.
And I didn't. It's because it's a race. Because I didn't need to deconstruct at all. Because I just like got the God card combo. Everything I played, I was like, oh, that's the exact card that I would want. I was like, oh, that's the exact card that I would want that came up. And so I think like the extended gameplay
it's a good
gives you
length.
A chance to deconstruct, right?
Totally, absolutely. And if you're playing cards that you like, you're forced to deconstruct because the deconstruction isn't a choice. It's if you use this card a lot, it goes away. But you're also incentivized to do that. That's one of the things I really like about it. I'm glad you mentioned that because it jogged my memory of something I wanted to say. The way that it incentivizes you to deconstruct your engine is, I think, really great because first of all, you play a good card, you want to use it, that will cause it to go away, but also it needs to go away in order for it to score which also incentivizes you to not play cards that you don't really want to use, which I also really like. I like that gameplay loop. I think is really clever. And with those types of games, sometimes it is about just like put down a bunch of cards so you can get your engine up really quick and then destroy it. You do want to be thoughtful because you don't want to waste your turn playing a card, which takes an action that you never really want to then take another action to activate to get it into your scoring pile. So it makes you think. That's why I find it quite thinky because you have to consider these things. You can't just lay cards down willy-nilly.
Yeah. One final comment about we just brought up Nar. I think there's an expansion or 2 coming out real soon, and I think it's going to address that like runaway leader problem. Because I love Nar, but you're totally right. Like if you get the right combination, it's no one can beat you.
Like, okay, well, let's just reset and play it again. Where it's more challenging is really what it feels like.
Yeah, but I really like Nar. Viking engine building, engine wrecking. But anyways, thanks, Ray. Wild Venture. I'm looking forward to checking that out. And we're gonna move on to number 4. Chris, you're back up on top here.
All right, this is my last one that I get to talk about. I was thinking before when Ray was saying that you like games where you can tear things down. I was like, that's why you're the 20 strong nemesis amongst us.
Absolutely.
I just talked about a race game and not necessarily liking the pace of a race game, but I do like this. It boils down to it being just a race, and this is a space race, to go on holiday, Galactic Cruise, formerly titled in production. It was Galactic Slurp, but they changed it to Galactic Cruise.
Copyright issues.
There were too many. There was too many that were out there. I imagine this was on a couple of your lists as well, because this game is it's great. It's really, really good. It's so exciting to see like first time big publisher's big send off hit with such success. Galactic Cruise is awesome. It's very satisfying, and the tempo of this game will get away from you, and it will make it hard. You will want to complete more rocket ships than you have time to do, and I think that it still finds a really nice balance. I like I like so much of it. I like the worker placement aspect. I like that when you place your worker down, you can choose 2 options of things to do, and you can build out a network that makes it easier and more flexible about what you can do on your workers. I love the boards that are being shown right now, that you can unlock with your gears. You unlock more capacity every time you visit a spaceship, or visit a planet. You can get a special tech, one ability that you can use for the rest of the game, and you can focus around that. I like the income phase. I like returning your workers. You can build up that you can just get points for that. And I think it's great. I think it's a really, really solid game. It works very well. It seems overwhelming, but it's not. This and How to Save a World were the top 2 in that 2025 Champion of Champions death match that was going on, and it was a very close race between the 2 of them. But like, the production quality here is next level. And oh my god, as somebody who has read through over 3,500 rule books in the past, 4
You
or
actually
5
keep
years.
track?
Yeah, well, because I keep track of how many
That's
campaigns that I've
awesome.
covered
Wow.
on Crowdfunding Countdown, and I'm over 3,500 right now. I don't know where I'm at,
Wow.
but I would have to check and update my numbers. But as somebody who's
wild.
read through that many rule books, this is one of the best rule books in all of board gaming.
Nice.
It is so good. If you are making a game and you are making a heavy strategy game, you need to look at this rule book and you need to do exactly what it does, because it is so helpful. There's a little icon at the very beginning, like a page at the very beginning, which says, hey, in green text, this is examples. In blue, these are strategy tips. In pink, this is solo. In yellow, this is flavor text. Like, whatever it is, but it goes through and highlights with its index every single little thing. So as you are reading through this rule book, you're like, okay, oh, there's the strategy tip that relates to this rule. Oh, there's how I incorporate it for a 2-player game. But it's indexed so well and so clearly. At the very beginning of the game, you have a full setup page for your intro game, and then you have a full setup page for the random game, and they take the time to put them on 2 different pages so that you can say, okay, because there's so many components. So especially setting up for a first game, basically you can rotate. The main change is you can rotate the worker placement spots. So they're printed on one side of the board and they're empty on the other side, which you can replace with tokens. But that's the main difference. But just having it as its own thing, being for your first time, you're like, yes, this is all the steps that I need to worry about. I don't need to worry about what's going to happen later on, right? I don't need to it just is. It's so clear, it's so streamlined, and the gameplay itself is so streamlined, with everything that you do feeling good in some variety of good dopamine ways, but every action being important because of the efficiency, because of how quickly people race to go on cruises and put people out and fill up the tracks. There's only a certain number of cruises can be launched, and that triggers the end of the game. And I just think it is so well done. The production quality is so well done. It is such an exceptional game, and it earns its price point as well. I know board games are getting expensive nowadays. They're very expensive, but when a game costs over $100, it needs to earn it.
Yeah.
And this absolutely earns it, both with its gameplay and the care at which it approaches its design. I just think it is a slam dunk of a success of a game. And yeah, Galactic Cruise, awesome.
Nice. I'm crying here because I've not played this game yet, Chris.
Crying.
And I know everyone that's played it has raved. I've seen it in a couple of my couple of different gaming groups that I've had it. And I just haven't. I've always gotten there right when the game has just started, so can't get another player in. That's fine. But I can't wait to play it. I think it's Ian O'Toole that did the art, and I always love his work. And it's just like table presence galore. It's a beautiful game, and the theming and just everything about it. I know I'm going to love this game, and the fact that you've read the rulebook and you actually rank it that highly, like, that means a lot coming from someone that's written. I can't believe you read 3,500 rulebooks, man. That's insane.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, it's over the last like 4 or 5 years, but
Still,
still
that's a lot.
Still a lot.
But that means what a good rule book is, and if you're saying about this, then
absolutely. And a good rule book can make the difference between a good and a bad game. 100%.
Absolutely.
If I can't understand it, it's not a good game.
Yep.
It's about two rule books a day for the last 5 years, because there's 1,825 days in a year.
What is wrong? We're gonna get you the best doctors. Don't worry, it's okay. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out together.
That's a fun stat. I never added it up, but it is an average of 2 rule books a day for the last 5 years.
That's insane.
It'll be 5 years in like May or something. But that's a lot. Yeah, and the fact that this is, I can't possibly think of a better rule book than this.
That's like very encouraging.
You have like a pamphlet of a game that takes 2 rules. Whatever. Great. It's a great rule book. But like this, for the amount of information that goes through,
such a skill.
Yeah.
So no, it's encouraging to hear you say that, because I have also not played this yet. Because when you guys say, look at this gorgeous table presence, I go, oh dear Jesus, what is this? Like I look at that and I like complexity, but like I look at that and I go, that looks like a lot of bumping tracks and a space theme. I'm not here for it. But I've seen the reviews. Like I watched the no pun included review that was a rave review. Now I've heard you talk about it, and now I think the thing for me is hearing that it is easily digestible, because I look at that board and I go, I'm fine with complexity. I don't like fiddliness or like having to constantly look back and like reference stuff. But if it's got a good rule book, that makes a difference. And also Sean in chat says that I've seen so many people who normally avoid this type of a complexity dive into this and want to play again and again. Great system, and I'm so excited to have modules coming in achievements. That is also encouraging, that like it is not as scary as it looks. It looked too dry for me when I saw it. So it was nice to hear that that you had that experience with it.
Yeah, it plays really snappy.
That's
the
nice.
thing is, if you've played a worker placement game, that's what it is. The barrier is some of the iconography, but you have like a 4-page handout for every player where it's like, what does that do? Oh, okay, great. Like a little small square, like fold open board, right? To check the different things. But that's the main barrier, and the teach takes a little bit long because you have to go through what each space does. But once you know it, you're like, that's the game. You have 12 actions. That's it. Or you launch your spaceship. And then you go through like, the launching the spaceship process is important, because then you're going on to the stars. The hardest part is like reseeding the new people that are coming out that want to visit your ship and go on adventures, because there's just like, these move down and this moves down and that moves down. But like once you know that going on cruises is good, try to go on cruises as fast as you can and build ships. That's it. You put your worker down, do 2 actions.
Nice.
That's it. And if you know worker placement games, your actions are like getting new workers, upgrading tech, getting blueprints, building your ship, getting resources, getting cards that help you, booking a trip, so locking down a section of space that you're going to explore, and then advertising to people. Those are all the actions. That's it. Now you know how to play. You know how to play like 60% of the game just with that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to finally taking my first Galactic Cruise, hopefully soon, Chris. So thank you for that. We've got 3 more games, folks. We've got number 3, which is going to go to me. And I just realized that this has been a sci-fi year for me, because my number 3, our collective number 3, is a game called Moon Colony Bloodbath. And we just talked about engine building, engine wrecking. I feel like this is like the best example of it. And all my games this year that made this list were all sci-fi themed. I don't know why that is, but I do love sci-fi, and I love this one because the sci-fi in this it's funny. There's got some really funny bits in here, like the artwork and some of the commentary, the flavor text and stuff. It's sort of hokey sci-fi-ish. But in Moon Colony Bloodbath, you and your fellow players are trying to colonize the moon, and we all know nothing ever bad happens up in space, right? Well, it does here. We all have some basic actions that you can see there on your player board. You can take those on a turn when the card comes up. We play through a shared deck. Did I mention this was Donald X. Vaccarino, the designer of Dominion?
Yeah.
I feel like this is his second greatest game ever after Dominion. But what you're doing is you're trying to survive. That's all it is. Whoever has the last survivor in this game will win the game. That's all it is. What you're doing is playing through a shared deck of cards. So there are going to be some events that come up. There are going to be cards that let you do different things, such as your basic actions, working, etc., etc. And you collect resources, you manage them, you get more survivors, but spoiler alert, those survivors are not going to be survivors very long. You're going to lose them at some point, and it's a battle of trying to mitigate your losses on every turn. And what this does so brilliantly is that shared deck. Like, bad things are going to happen. They'll happen to all of us, right? It's just, have you built the buildings that can, basically wade off the destructiveness of the moon for as long as possible? And that's what I love about it. It's funny. At least, I mean, I don't know. It's I got this really morbid sense of humor, I guess, right? And
totally.
Yeah, and I love it. We talked about the other one, Ray, the other engine building and engine wrecking. And I like this one a lot because the engine, you get your engine going, and I feel like you start to wreck it at just the right time in the game.
It's good. The timing is good.
Yeah, it never outstays its welcome. It's really snappy, as we've said other games. This is like the ultimate in snappiness, I feel. It's just like,
you can play this in like 40 minutes.
Oh, totally.
It's like,
oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like you turn over a card, everyone does it, turn over the next card. And what's really neat too is we all have some special cards that are just for us. And at certain points, depending on what cards are played, you can add that to the deck. So you add it to the deck, and you know it's going to be the first one off because you always add it to the top. So you turn it over. Oh, it's like my character gets to do this, and everyone just groans. It's like, oh, we don't get anything. Thanks. But then you turn it over to someone else's. They get to do something you don't. And then the next card, oh, we all die. Or whatever. It's so much fun. This was an insta hit. I played it last year. I bought a copy. I played other people's copies. I actually did a whole podcast episode with my friend's Board Game with Variant Hex. We talked about our first playthrough of it together. It is a fantastic game. I love it, and I can't get enough of it. This is Moon Colony Bloodbath.
Yeah, it's funny you say this game never overstays its welcome, because every time I've taught this game, about maybe 25, 30 minutes in, the people I'm teaching to go like, so when does the game end? It's just when we run out of people? And then I swear to God, the next turn is the turn where it's like the robots are coming. It is right when they're like, man, this is really easy. Like, it's when we lose people. Like, I got a bedtime. Like, I can't. This is gonna take forever for me to lose all my people. It's like right at that point, right when newbies are like, this is gonna be kind of long. Jeez, is when like the destruction, when it ramps really quite quickly. So it gives you like that. I really enjoy the pacing of this game. It gives you those first few rounds to really do your thing, build up your stuff, and then it ramps at a pace that is manageable if you've built a good base, but does not leave one person like bleeding out for rounds and rounds and rounds. Like it'll be a swift death eventually. And I do like that. I like the pacing a lot in this game, and I agree. The humor for me, space games that I gotta talk slower. Space games that take themselves too seriously is like my least favorite theme. I think I love that whimsy and that charm and that sort of subversive humor. And Moon Colony Bloodbath is fantastic.
Agreed. Yeah. Cool.
I haven't
have
played
you
it,
this,
but
Chris?
I'd like to. Yeah, it's been like
good.
It's been an option to be played, but it just never ended up being pulled out, or I wasn't around to play it for certain game nights. But I've heard only good things. I feel like I would really like it.
Yeah, I feel like this would be
that communal deck. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that shared.
It does so many cool things.
Yeah, it's very clever, and it's just so interesting that you know someone that's built the genre of basically of deck building, right? Donald X. Vaccarino.
Like invented it.
Yeah. Now he's like, I'm going to shred this thing to bits, and this is what's going to happen. And I love that he's done this, and. I love everything about this. So, also for the solo gamers out there, fun solo game. All you do
Really?
is the exact same thing. You just try to get through the entire event deck. It's like 13 cards in the event deck, and I've only got to 11. If anyone can get 13,
I was gonna say that's me too. 11 is as far as I've gotten, and then it's just like, man,
there's no way.
They really want us dead now. They want us out of here.
Those robots. Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about the theme is the implication, because you've got these people tokens, which are like your lifeblood. Like if you run out of people, you're dead. I love the implication that we live on a clone lesbian colony. It's all just the same lady over, and it's just this one lady. They didn't take the time to make any other people. It's just this one. It's just this lesbian clone colony, which I wish that was acknowledged and leaned into, because that's hilarious.
Oh, totally. The humor in this game. There's some really sly bits that I think it's clever the way they did it. Moon Colony Bloodbath. That's our number 3. We've got one more before we get to Richard, and it's gonna go to Ray with our number 2. Collectively.
Right. I'm all worked up about Moon Colony Bloodbath. I gotta center myself.
Time to reset.
That one was
it's gonna make no sense. All right. So my number 2, was part of why I was like, we need to do a best game of 2025. I need to talk about this game. We're not moving on until I've talked about it. Number 2 for me is Old King's Crown. I know this is like the hotness this year, so I'm sorry for not giving you an original quirky pick this year. This is my favorite game that I played that came out in 2025. This is an absolutely gorgeous lane battling deck builder game. I impulse backed this on Kickstarter because I looked at it and I was like, good Lord, this art. See,
nice.
Like the way that the Galactic Cruise board scared me, because it was like all gray and dark. This did scare me, but I was like, this looks like a gorgeous thing that I want on my shelf. This art, I know, again, this is not a unique take. This art is like some of the best that I've seen in board games recently. It's so intricate. Like every one of these cards is unique and gorgeous. And I love the color palette that they chose for it. So gorgeous on the table. So I impulse backed it, kind of forgot about it. Then at some point we did like a most anticipated list or something like that. And I referenced this game saying, I'm starting to see early gameplay and I don't know. It looks kind of fiddly and random and I don't think I'm going to like it. And I said that on an R&R show. And then like the next morning I woke up to a message from Pablo from Eerie Idle Games being like, hi, I hear your critique. We're already on it. We're bringing on like other people to help like retool some stuff.
Oh, nice.
Not because of my criticism, but it was like a really nice.
It was because of you.
No, it was definitely not.
Yeah,
but it was like really nice.
You did it. You saved the game.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. As all me, thanks. You're welcome, guys. No, definitely not because of me, but like heard my critique and said, don't worry, we agree. Like we're on it. We're bringing. They brought on some other people to help dev the game. Which is shout out to Pablo. I thought that was a really nice level of community management. And so then when I got my copy finally, I was like, okay, open mind. I'm going to wash away all of my fears before and just play this for what it is. And I really, really love it. It is on the upper end of like my complexity scale. Mm-hmm. This is about as complex of a game as I enjoy, but I like the way the complexity and the asymmetry ramps. So I should probably talk a little bit about what this game is. I cannot do it justice in 5 minutes. This game has a lot of incredibly complex microsystems going on. But at its core, like I said, it's a lane battling game. It's also asymmetrical. So everyone picks one of these 4 factions. You've got these little faction boards that give you a handful of unique abilities. A lot of these abilities are one-time use, which we'll come back to. I really like that. And you get a hand of, I think, 10 cards to start out with. And sorry, that was my cuckoo clock. I hope you didn't hear it.
That was a dog.
That's what I thought.
You have a hand. We gotta finish in the next 30 minutes, or else it's gonna go off 5 times. So you have a hand of 10 cards, and there's these 4 rows in the main board, and everyone's gonna place a card face down into each of those rows, and then one at a time you reveal, and whoever has the highest power in that row wins. But before you do that, everybody takes a little meeple, it's called a herald, and puts it in one of those rows. And that is you saying, if I win here, I'm going to make a lot of money. And if you're here too, I'm going to steal from you. So everyone puts their herald down. If there's 2 heralds in the same spot, the winner like beats up the other person's herald. And if, there's no one else there, you just get a big boon for winning. You're basically declaring, I want to win this row. But you can lie And so that's why I like it. I like the above the table talk and the mind games of trying to psych out other people with your Herald, trying to figure out what other people might try to do. But it doesn't get too out of hand, because at the end of the day, you just put down 4 cards, you flip them over, you can try to get into other people's heads, but because that information is hidden, you can only, micromanage so much. And then, as I said, the game is asymmetrical. So slowly over the course of the game, you're going to be adding in unique cards and using those often one time or just like a handful time abilities that you've got on your player mat. And the reason I bring that up is because asymmetry is one of those things with me where I find it unwieldy. If I don't like the feeling of getting punched and not knowing that my opponent could just punch me, right? Like that. I'm like, what? Yeah. You could do that? You could just reach across the table and punch me? I didn't know that was a rule. I don't like when the asymmetry feels so much that I forget what my opponent can do. Right. And because of the slow ramp in Old King's Crown, yes, it is a lot. And if you play with 4 people, you cannot keep track of everybody, but it ramps in a way that feels more fair and more manageable. I personally like this game best at 2 players, because that's like the sweet spot for me. If I'm keeping track of what you've played and what you've put in your deck and what you can and can't do. 3 players is a little bit more chaotic. I like them both. I think for me personally, I think they are 2 different experiences. Playing with one other person, you're like locked in on them, feels much more about, anticipating and psyching them out. 3 feels a little bit more like, oh my God, I forgot this third person has a cannon that they can just bring to this fight. It's a little bit more chaotic. They're fun. They're just different. And another thing that I really love about this game is the way the deck building works. I feel like it is not your normal deck building vibe. There's this thing called attrition, wherein if you run out of your deck and you need to draw more cards, your hand size decreases. I think it starts at 6, and then it goes to 5, and then it goes to 4, and your hand whittles down. And I like that because it's just a different take on a deck builder. I feel like typically you're incentivized to churn through your deck, get your cards back, and build up a big fat stack of cards. This feels much more like restricted. You're working with a tight budget. You're forced to stretch your hand and find ways to get cards back from your discard without, pulling from your draw pile. I like that kind of tight resource management for a deck builder. I think it's a unique, fun tension. And there's a bajillion other things going on with this game that I won't even begin to get into. But I think that lane battling is really interesting. I really love the way that they resolve. I should also mention this. My other favorite thing is the player in last place determines the order in which those lanes are resolved, which can create some fun cascading moments. You can, just because someone has big, powerful cards, if you can mess up the order in which those things need to trigger, that's really satisfying, especially with one of the factions that's like a seafaring faction that wants to be moving from lane to lane, move their cards, but not if that card that moves isn't revealed yet. If you can find a way to reveal that card at the end, you can mess up what they're trying to do. Lot going on with Old King's Crown. It's gorgeous. I really like the story behind how this game was developed. I like that they took feedback from that initial gameplay. It's definitely a beast to get to the table, but it feels like you're entering this world. I really love everything is crafted with so much care and love. That art for me really does make this a full experience that I just absolutely adore. And that is our number 2, Old King's Crown.
Right on, Ray. Yeah, I'm excited to try this one. I have not played it yet, but every person I know loves this game. Like so the love that you just talked about, Ray. That's the reaction I get from everyone. So this has got to be a must play for me. It looks. I mean, it has everything I like in games, and I like the lane battling as well, and trying to mess with folks that way.
I thought I wasn't going to. I thought it was going to feel like random and whatever. But because it's got all these other really complex systems surrounding it, I like that at the end of the day, the lane battling is simple. Because if it were more, it would get past my complexity cap. That being a very simple core, and then this complexity around it, I really like how that comes together.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It has raised over $1 million on crowdfunding, so I did a full deep dive on it for 5 reasons you shouldn't back on my channel. I know that's finishing up, I think, in the next couple of days. I think there's still time to do it, but you can get it. You can get it now at retail. Probably save yourself the shipping. Just FYI for people who are interested in it. You
Yeah.
don't have to get it on crowdfunding.
Yeah.
And yeah, this looks like a game that I particularly would enjoy because of that above the table interaction, like you were talking about, and because it feels like it is cutthroat and mean, and you want to
totally
you want to get somebody
yeah.
with the stuff. And so for some people, I think we're gonna. My prediction is Richard saying, "Oh, it's a bit too mean for me and Jen."
100%. I would be shocked if Richard liked this game. There's no way. There's no way. It's quite mean.
Yeah.
Right on.
Cosmic Beat says, if only someone with Reason made a video with 5 reasons not to back this game to temper the hype. If only somebody would do
that existed out there. If only existed. I know it's one of those games where I'm like, I would enjoy this game. I also don't think I would get it to the table enough to see the intricacies of it.
Totally.
But I will happily play it with people who have it. So that's what I'm excited to do. And the art really, we talk about art a lot. But the art is so gorgeous. And the fact that awesome. he designed it all. And it's linked to the gameplay itself, I think is a really exciting aspect.
Thing feel like a work of art. It's just cool. Like I like to just, when I find myself when I'm setting up the game, I get distracted because I'm like, I've never really looked that closely at this card from this other faction because it's all unique and so intricate. I love it.
And that's one of the points, like just the artwork alone. Like, I know this game would probably be tough to get to the table. That gives you a reason to get to the table, right? Just to that gorgeous art.
I don't want to leave it out there all day and look at it and go, wow, remember?
Just to enjoy it.
Oh,
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Ray. Let's move on to our number 1. Richard's got some thoughts on the games we talked about, and he's got the number 1 for the list. Take it away, Richard.
Hey gang, it's been a great list so far. My apologies, everybody. Where have I been this whole episode? Well, remember, I already did a top 25 of 25 on December 25th. And I didn't want to regurgitate the whole list, but I do have one game to talk about, which I did not discover until January of 2026. It's actually my new favorite game of the year, the 36th best game of all time as far as I'm concerned. And I can't wait to tell you about it. But before we get to that, I gotta say, Chris, Ruel, and Ray, you all each had one game that sang to me on such a primal level. Ruel, you and me, we are simpatico. Bloodbath made my top 10 of the year as well. Absolutely phenomenal. Donald X. Vaccarino's second greatest design after Dominion. And who knows, if this gets some expansion content, maybe it will eclipse it. Chris, I am so happy to see we are in agreement. Galactic Cruise is absolutely phenomenal. I have to admit, I didn't really appreciate it till I got to play it with the first 2 expansions. And I really think I need that 3rd expansion, the Achievements expansion, for it to make it into truly top tier for me personally. But still, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. And Ray, I am so jealous of you because a Wild Venture very likely would have made my top 10 of the year also, but I've only played it in prototype form. I have not played the final version, so I can't really comment on the final game, but I suspect if sometime this year I can get my hands on a real retail copy of it, and also while I'm at it, Emberleaf, I need to get a copy of Emberleaf. I suspect both those games will actually retroactively push their way into my personal top 10 of the year. But time will tell. Anyway, folks, enough dilly-dallying. I am just going to cut right to the chase. Yeah, right. And tell you the number 1 game on our combined list is Railway Boom. And this is crazy. Because here's the deal, folks. I am so over train games. Once upon a time, I really enjoyed them, but I am so burned out on laying track and running the rails. It's just a subject matter that has lost all interest in me, and which is why I actively avoided this game, even though I knew it would be a good design. Design superstar Hisashi Hayashi, he never fails. I mean, I know Chris knows it. He loves trains, but Chris, I'm here to tell you, this is better than trains. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, this is the best Euro-style train-themed board game of all time. Beats trains. Beats Russian railroads, beats all the Martin Wallace, Railways of the Worlds, and all of those games. It is phenomenal. And it's really saying something that somebody who is so burnt out on train games and never wanted to play another one, I just even thinking about this and looking at it on screen right now makes me want to be playing it. What is it? Well, very simply, we are going to play through 16 turns, or I should say 16 auctions, over 4 rounds. There are auctions for 4 different types of things, like building up our rail lines, building, or our trains actually, building stations out in the world, getting more special powers that we can use. And the thing is, in each of the different auctions for these different things that we are bidding on, we are using a different unique resource. And the tricky part is, if I see a card come out that I desperately want, it is absolutely crucial for all my plans. Well, you know what? I'll bid high and I'll get that card, because whoever bids highest gets first dibs. Whoever bids lowest gets last dibs. And the auctions in this game, all 16 of them are incredibly tension filled. But here's the problem. If I have to bid higher and higher to get that card, but I finally get it, and I'm like, yes, I will install it, and now I'm going to use it. Oh no. The problem is, the individual type of resource I use to get a particular type of card is also the fuel I use to activate that card. So if I just bankrupted myself and don't have that resource anymore, now I can't use the card that I just, I went bankrupt trying to get. And that's the tricky thing, trying to find a balance there between knowing how high to bid, knowing when, okay, you know what, I just can't afford it anymore, I can't risk it, but maybe I'll get lucky and somebody else wants something anyway and I don't need to bid. Maybe I should just be bidding you up, Ray. I know you love, a good cutthroat game, and this game can get pretty aggressive with the auctioning too. It's so tension filled. But the brilliance of it is, no matter what it is you're bidding on, you know that the more likely you are to get the thing, the less likely you are to be able to use it. Unless you are willing to bankrupt yourself again. Because another thing you can do is those other 3 resources that you use in the other auctions, you can burn them at a 2-to-1 conversion rate to be able to power anything you want. So yeah, I bankrupted myself in this resource to get the card, and now I can't use it. Well, you know what? I'll bankrupt myself in the next 2 resources so I can use the card I've got now, because it's going to set me up for the rest of the game, depending on what special power it might have or where it's going to let me build in the world to be able to achieve different objectives. It's phenomenal. It has all the great hallmarks of a really great train economic. Once you've actually built a line, and invested in your infrastructure, that will keep paying you back in income every round, and you're going to need that income, because every round is going to bring another for every 4 rounds, 4 tough, painful, just in the best possible way auctions. And I love every second of it. Again, I cannot stress enough how little I care for this. And, I actively avoided this game for so long, but it took a lot of cajoling, but enough people told me you need to try this that I eventually did. And then I was kicking myself because I was denying myself the experience of the best game of the year. Railway Boom. Folks, if you're like me and you're done with train games, all I can say is don't judge a book by its cover. Imagine this theme is anything else. Just a business sim. And I think if you're anything like me, you'll get pulled in hard by Hisashi Hayashi's greatest design ever and the best game of the year and my 36th highest ranked game of all time now, Railway Boom. Boom. I can't believe it. Okay, and that's it for me. In fact, you won't be seeing me with any honorable mentions because, again, you can go back and watch my full top 25 of the year. There'll be a link for it down in the show notes. Before you jump to that video, stick around because now that I'm not going to blather on for the next 15 minutes, that's going to give the gang a lot more time to tell us about their honorable mentions and maybe some of the live chat's honorable mentions as well. So I'm going to throw back to y'all and see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, great. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate that. Railway Boom, another game I've heard nothing but good things about. And
yeah,
I'm a fan of trains. I'm a fan of railways of the world. And if this is the next evolution of it, I'm here for it. I'm excited to give that one a shot. I mean, there's so many games that I have not played, but this one might be the top of the list because I do like this type of game.
I like a cutthroat auction. I like that thing he was saying about how the resources you use to, if I understood this correctly, it said the resources you use to auction and to bid with then are the resources you use to activate stuff.
Yes.
Like that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Another game that I'm glad someone talked about, because I would have looked at that and been, ew, no. I would have said, yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Well,
Looks
don't judge a board game by its cover, and don't
There you
judge a
go.
train by its caboose. I
And
think
I'll
is
never do that
the-
again. I've learned my
is
lesson.
It's the expression.
Yeah. Friends, that's our top 10. We want to know what your top 10 or what's made your top 10 this year. Viewers who are watching live here on Twitch, we're going to highlight some of those games in just a moment. But for now, why don't we talk to Ray and Chris? If you'd like to highlight a game or two from your honorable mentions, then I'll add one as well. Ray, any honorable mentions you'd like to mention?
Yeah. I had a ton. If we end up doing like top kickstarted games and stuff, you may hear some of these are hidden gems of 2025.
Yeah.
I had a lot that I really liked. I had Wine Cellar was on my list.
Yes.
Iliad was on my list.
Yeah.
It was in like a little two game little mini Kickstarter. Iliad is fantastic. It's a really great head-to-head 2-player.
Cool.
I don't know how you describe it.
Like an abstract.
Not area
it's
control.
a Knizia.
Yeah. It's
Knizia.
an abstract Knizia game.
Yeah.
It's
Is that
great.
the one with the
really
4
like
corners, or was
yes?
Okay.
And you're on this little grid, and you're placing down tiles to try to win the gods' favors on either end of the column. Love Iliad.
Yes.
Deep Regrets, fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Shallow Regrets, also fantastic.
Quick
Echoes
question.
of Time.
So I played Deep Regrets. What is Shallow
Yes.
Regrets? Just a shorter version of it, or what is
The button shy one, right?
Yes, it's like just the fishing part. None of the board.
Oh, okay.
Very minimal gear and stuff. It's just I've only played Shallow Regrets once, so and it was a couple months ago. But that's what I remember about it was that it's just the fishing part.
Just the fishing part. Okay.
Deep Regrets.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I like it. I find Deep Regrets is a little maybe much for what I want. I want to just go fishing for big monsters.
That was I was just gonna say that was my thing with the game. I like Deep Regrets, but I felt like it overstayed its welcome.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
And I would like to try Shallow Regrets because I want to fish too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the theme of Deep Regrets. I want more games that look and feel like this.
Yeah.
It has a very if you've ever played the video game Dredge, it feels like a video game or board game version of that.
Mm-hmm.
I love it's got humor, it's got great art. I love the idea of like the dark, murky water. And I also love in Deep Regrets, but if you don't know, it's a fishing game. And you can either get fair fish or you can get foul fish.
Mm-hmm.
And fair fish gets you more points. Foul fish get you negative points. But if you get enough foul fish, you basically become insane. And now you want the foul fish.
Yeah.
Very fun little ramping scale where it's like at some point you just say, never mind, I'm insane now and I want severed legs. And that's what I'm going fishing for.
Yep.
I love that. And my love of the theme and the atmosphere outweighs my feeling that it does overstay its welcome a little bit. It's a little long and a little bit too much going on, I think.
Yeah.
Shallow Regrets, it doesn't have it's a button shy game, so it's just those 12 or whatever cards. So you lose some of that atmosphere of the board and all the the angler meeples and stuff. You don't get that, but it is just the fishing part, which is the best part of Deep Regrets. So I would definitely, if you had the similar feeling about Deep Regrets to me, Shallow Regrets might be the way to go.
I'll have to look into that. Thank you.
Yeah, I had Echoes of Time also on my list. I had Tabriz, which I've talked about a bunch. I didn't put Tabriz on the list at the end because I was like, I've talked about Tabriz a lot, but Tabriz continues to just be a real classic feeling worker placement game. I have in my list reluctantly, Toy Battle, because why are you tricking me into playing a mobile game as a board game? I feel like I'm playing Clash of Clans or some nonsense that your iPad kid nephew plays. It really feels like this looks so unbelievably stupid.
Yeah.
You give me a couple glasses of wine, you pull out Toy Battle. That rips. I love it. It's so ridiculously fun. It's simple enough that I can just brain off, boom, boom, boom. Love it. I unfortunately adore Toy Battle.
I
hate
do
that
too, Ray. This was this was on my list too. I love Toy Battle. It's a
it's
two-player game. It's again, I had no expectations. Like, okay, it looks like a cute little kids game.
Yeah.
It is not. It's cutthroat. It's fun. It's in your face. And the designer, a lot of folks may know the designer, Paolo Mori, designer of Libertalia and all kinds of Ethnos, all kinds of great games. So,
really?
yeah,
You're
Paolo
kidding.
Mori.
That's what a range,
right?
That's delightful.
Yeah, love Toy Battle. Those on my list. What else?
Yeah.
A couple of
It's
other things.
so fun.
Yeah, it really is. We talked about it in comments. There's some folks live that comment about Fliptoons. I really like Fliptoons.
Fliptoons is another great one.
Light deck building game.
Unfortunately, I adore you. But yeah, that's how I feel.
Nice.
But it's just so fun to like jumbo someone's jumbo. Like, what does that mean? Go play Toy Battle.
Exactly.
I love that. It's ridiculous. You're gonna jumbo your jumbo. And then the other reluctant one that I put on this list because of the episode I wasn't here for. I only played it once. I really liked Pedikit. I thought it was goofy. I know Bonds. I think it was Bonds who hated it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the tearing one?
Even fun. Yeah, it's the one where you're trying to complete a pattern by just thinking how other people would think to complete the pattern.
That one.
Yeah, the dogs and hats.
The dogs and hats.
But I also like the mind, so like keep that in mind.
Yeah,
I like Pedikit. I think it's silly. But I was not going to be on the best game list. I had to put it in here to say my.
You just got to give a little shout.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. You thought it was fun. I thought it looked completely abysmal. So.
No, I liked it. I mean, I wouldn't like pull it out all the time, but like for one playthrough, I was like, that was cute. That was kind of fun. When you are able to mind meld and like guess what other people might do.
Yeah.
Truly very fun. But you gotta, I don't know your friends and wanna get to know them better to enjoy games like these. So
What about you, Chris? Any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I had a bunch on my honorable mentions as well. Someone in the chat, Fungi Bonbon said Barony the Royal Edition arrived this year. If that counts.
Fungi Bonbon. What a great username.
And I put that on my list too. The fact that I can talk about Barony again, heck yeah, I'm gonna. Barony is awesome. It's so good. I love it. I love it at 2.
Yep.
But I think Sean in the chat has played it at 4 and likes it at 4 too. So I gotta give maybe 4 another shot. But I think it's awesome. It's like you get the action optimization of Splendor with an area control element. It's like that meets chess meets Catan because you're pulling resources out of the place. But yeah, it's great. Grail Games did a new reimagined edition as well, and it's awesome. It's so good. Barony, I think, is my number 11 game of all time in terms of my list. It was number 10. It went down just because other things came up, but I still love Barony. And number 11 out of all the games I've ever played is very good. So I love Barony. That was on my list. I put Luthier on my list as well. I've only played Luthier once, but I quite enjoyed it. I think there's a lot going on and there's a lot of fun to be had, and it's just very satisfying building your instruments and then satisfying all your patrons' needs and desires. That's what I try to do in my general everyday life, and anything to make my patrons happy. I'm just here to satisfy you, and so it just really spoke to me. And that I put En Route down because I thought En Route was a great little roll and write, flip and write style game. Great production design. You get 8 maps in it, and it's very simple. You're just drawing lines on a route for a different map, but each map has something different. I just think the production value on that is really, really good, and it's a good bang for your buck in terms of the amount of content that you get in there. So that one stood out to me as I was going through. Silver Eye and Fang came out this year, so it gives me another reason to talk about Silver, which I love. It's such a good card game. Silver is awesome. So is Scram, but Silver's great. And they had Silver Eye and Fang drop, which I think are fine. I think some of the other sets might be better, but Fang gives you sort of a team version of Silver, even though you can play Silver as a team version. Cool. Anyway, you just do it as a team. But they give you the official rules, and the Fang set is more sculpted around interacting with your teammate than playing it as a solo set. I played it as a solo set too, and I'm like, yeah, it's not as good because it is sort of designed to be a team, which is cool. And then a couple that I played just recently, just this past weekend, which I thought were good. Well, Fortunes of Scoundrel Bay was quite good.
Ooh,
This
never
is,
heard of that.
if you ever liked playing Jamaica, well, you're wrong. Jamaica's bad, and this is the better pirate game that you should play.
Okay.
It's like a big sandbox style
wow.
game. You're going to go through the map, and you'll have 3 actions you can do on your turn. You sort of sail forward and fight a monster, and you follow along this one track. You drop people off on shores, and you can do different things, like they'll search for treasure, they'll do an area control element in town, etc. Or you add to the number of people you have on your ship, and that will bolster the different types of places that you can raid. That's it.
Nice.
Very simple, good sandbox, really nice, really good production design. And then Emberleaf, which Richard was talking about as well. I just played that this weekend, and I quite enjoyed it as well. It's the card dancing mechanism, is just slide your tableau. It's slide your tableau. It's activated later.
Yeah, but
You
it
can
sounds
activate
cooler.
it.
It sounds
A maximum
cooler.
of 3 times, but it's more fun when it's card dancing. Great art, great production quality. Overall, a really good one. Those are my quick ones.
Awesome.
Ruel, I gave you 3 minutes to talk about all your games of 20 strong.
Thank you. I will rip through it real quick. Ones that I had were, well, we actually Ray talked about Flip Tunes, we talked about Toy Battle.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Zenith. I thought this was a terrific 2-player game. A little tug of war, but with some area control and tech track. It's got a lot going on in one little box, which I really loved about this. And you can play it for free, folks, on Board Game Arena as well. So check that out, Zenith. Other ones I had, Unstoppable. This is a card crafting a roguelike game by John D. Clare, one of my favorite designers. It's a solo game, but you can play it co-op. I don't know why you would want to, but it's really clever. It's a terrific mechanism where you are battling monsters, but you're also on the flip side can make them, be beneficial towards you and stuff. Really terrific game. Other ones, I had 2 roll and write games on here. The first one is a beast of a roll and write called Tend. This is a heavier roll and write game from.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, from Ivy Studios. A lot of tons of resource management and a lot of comboing, and it's a brain burner for a roll and write game. Then I went on the other side of it. I went for another roll and write from one of my favorite designers, Reiner Knizia. Actually, my favorite designer, Reiner Knizia, did The Hobbit There and Back Again. If you've ever played Railroad Inc., this is similar to that, but with a narrative and actually with some resource management, which I found surprising. And I really like this one. I think you would too. Each chapter is only about 30 minutes, but it's a really nice roll and write puzzle. And my last game, let me see, I had one more. Oh yeah, this one here, which we're going to end on a good note, unlike a bunch of the haters on this channel, Magical Athlete. Folks, I'm just going to say this about this. If you like to have fun,
awesome.
Magical Athlete is a game for you. That's all I'm going to say. It's a terrific race game. If you like fun, play Magical Athlete, okay?
That's valid.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, folks, for joining us. If you're watching the VOD, be sure to drop comments below. Let us know what your games that you loved in 2025 were, and we'll continue the conversation. Yeah. Quick question there, Ray.
Do you want to real quick go over the chat?
Yes,
answers?
absolutely, please.
Real quick.
Yeah.
If I'll just
Let's do it because
quick.
I want Ray to say it so that we can hear her cuckoo clock in the background.
No, I'm literally I have my mouse hovering over my
I saw you were
mute
muted,
button.
so that's why you have to say it.
It's happening any second now. I'm so sorry.
I know, and I can't wait.
I saw a lot of people mention Vantage, which I have not played. Not a game for me. I don't know if either of y'all have played it. I know that,
I have it.
Haven't played it.
Yeah.
I don't think I would like it, and that's why I haven't played it.
I think I will like it solo. I think I'll like it solo.
Yeah.
It'll be almost like reading a book to me, like a choose your own adventure. I feel like that's why I'll like it. Other games.
I don't like games that are like books like that feel that narrative.
Yeah.
So not for me, but I know people who love it. Oh, there it goes.
There it is.
Sorry. Luthier was another one that was brought up. Fate of the Fellowship, of course, an iconic game that came out this year. I found Fate of the Fellowship too much for me personally.
Oh, really?
But I know people. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried it once and I was like, this is just so much. But I also played it on kind of a bad day, so I was like not in the mood for it when I sat down for it, and that definitely played into my opinion of it.
That's fair.
I love Lord of the Rings. I'm a big Lord of the Rings person, so I thought probably it was try again.
One of the tougher pandemic games for sure. It was brutal the time I played.
It was brutal.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I think maybe that's my thing is really, really tough cooperative games like that. I don't know. I find them frustrating.
That's fair. Yeah, I get that.
Those are the ones that I saw mentioned multiple times as chat's pick. So I just wanted to give them their voice of what they were saying.
Yeah.
And now I will pass it back off to you. You could do our little outro. I just wanted to read those off.
I'm just happy. My top of 2026 is Ray's Cuckoo Clock.
My Cuckoo Clock.
Really,
that's a top
someone make a game with a Cuckoo Clock in it. Yeah. That would make me so happy. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool. And then you can hang it on your wall like canvas.
Make it an engine destroying Cuckoo Clock game. I'm there. I'm all over it.
And it's a real time. It's a real time. Cuckoo Clock pops out. And it's kind of like operation as well. Because like things can pop out and get you. Like you got to load the Cuckoo Clock.
Yeah.
You can,
please.
And we call it just Cuckoo.
Brilliant.
Which would be awesome.
Another
game that was last year that I realized it wasn't on my I didn't put on my list, but it is a beast of a game and really intense. It's Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls was 2005.
That's a huge game.
Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era by Chip Theory Games. It's just it is a game that makes me want to get a board game table because it's a game that I would just love to leave set up and just pick at and slowly kind of go along with it. And I think that's a really interesting space to have a game where you want it out all the time, just so you can like chip away and chip theory away and chip theory away. Speaking of which, who's our sponsor?
We should.
Hey, speaking of sponsors, there it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chip Theory Games, for sponsoring this episode of the R&R Show. Friends, be sure to check out the link in the show description so you can follow the Game Found campaign for the next set of 20 strong games: Nemesis, Tainted Grail, and Aetherfields. Until next time, we'll see you later. Take care. So long. Bye bye.